Shoot. Good. Boom. Hit. Alright. You don't often hit. And, yeah. Wow, that was a big hit. Hello, and welcome to a brand new, long overdue, and long ago promised series on Mordheim, City of the Damned. A few things out of the way. First of all, yes, I am still sick, so this is not how I normally sound. Sorry about that. I have also had issues with my sound, with my mic. My kids, I'm assuming, because it wouldn't be my wife tampering, have decided to play around with some settings. So, yeah, let me know if the recording, if the sound's all good. Anyway, back to important things in relation to the game. This game, I promised to play this game about 3 years ago. I jumped through hoops to get a copy of this game. I had to jump through hoops with the developer to prove that I was going to put content on a YouTube channel, and I never did. I felt really bad since then. I of course, took my hiatus just as that happened, so I never got around to playing it. So this sort of kind of is a gifted version, a gifted copy by the developer. However, I felt so bad, I went out, brought all the DLC and another copy of the game. Just, yeah, I have issues with my conscience. Anyway, I have a guilty conscience. So the game is sort of kind of paid for, but kind of not. It's 3 years old. It has a few issues, but for the most part, it's actually a really good game. It's set in the Warhammer Fantasy universe, the pre-Age of Sigmar. Several hundred years, actually. It was its own board game back in the day, or not board game, but tabletop game. Yeah, it was set several hundred years before Karl Franz, before the Warhammer Fantasy that we all kind of still love. A little bit more, maybe, than Age of Sigmar, maybe. But anyway, yeah, bad time for the Empire. It's split into 3 parts. Mordheim started off as a really nice place, the best place to live, really, but then that brought in all kinds of bad things and bad people, and the city was falling apart, destroying itself, eating itself, when a twin-tailed comet, Sigmar's twin-tailed comet, of course, is seen in the sky. Some people said that's a good thing, some people said it's a bad thing. The people that were kind of, pro-Sigmar said that was a bad thing because it's his judgment coming. The people that were bad and wanted bad things to happen said that's a good thing because it's Sigmar's wrath coming, basically. Bad things coming, either way. And it did. It hit Mordheim, and it turns out that it was Wyrdstone, Warpstone. I say that 4 different times then, in 4 different ways, because in this game, I've always called it Warpstone, it is pronounced in cutscenes 4 different ways. So, anyway, we're going to start with the new Warband. I have all the DLC, I've got all the factions available currently. Originally, I'm pretty sure there were plans to have more than what we have now, but the game's 3 years old, so whether or not we get more, I don't know. The latest one, the newest one, is the Undead, so we're going to give those a shot. They've been around midway through last year, I believe, 2017 they came out. Could be wrong, but I kind of vaguely remember them coming out last year. The 4 in the middle there, the Empire. Yeah! I do have the volume turned right down on this game. I do, I promise you. It's just very loud. It doesn't seem to do anything when I turn it down. Yeah, you're not really Empire. They're, well, human mercenaries, so generally from the Empire. They're your people. They're the most basic, the easiest to get into. They are very flexible. Sisters of Sigmar, their story is basically they were saying, we love Sigmar and we're going to cleanse corruption and everything's going to be great. And when the comet hit, it didn't really affect them so much. So everyone said, you must be corrupted because that was a corrupted comet that hit. So you guys are bad. So they've got to prove that they are good by going around and doing all kinds of bad things. Their shtick is basically defense. We are very strong, you can't kill us. Then you got go to the possessed. Chaos, basically. Yeah, lots of warp things, lots of unpredictability in them. Skaven, they're little cowards that like to run away, but when they aren't running away, they do a lot of damage and can really annoy you. A bit difficult to play. Witch Hunters, I haven't, in all honesty, played them. I haven't played them a lot. I've not really done much information on them. Witch Hunters in Warhammer, they run around and try to find the bad things, the witches. It's in their name, Witch Hunter, and they kill them. They're kind of, you know, they're going around investigating. They're private investigators, but kind of sanctioned by the Empire. So yeah, they're bad people doing bad things to other bad people. That's their thing. And, and I had to go and touch every single one of them, and didn't I? The undead is vampires and undead. So they have powerful heroes, but not so powerful minions. We're gonna play them just, yeah, because we can. Rank, oh, I can choose 5 if I want, or 0. We're gonna 0, sure. We get a bit of a cutscene here.
You have been paid a great honor by our lord and master, Count Vlad von Karstein. Among his subjects, living and undead, it is you who have been entrusted with this important task. I wonder if you appreciate the enormity of the task ahead of you. The master expects much from you. I can sense your suspicion of me. It is true that I once served Queen Neferata, but it is in the halls of Drakenhof that my loyalty is now bound.
No, it's not.
Do you see this ring? It is Count Vlad's token. His sign that Baroness Katerina von Dernsbach is his vassal and agent. Beware, for I am his eyes and ears in Mordheim. What I learn, the master will know. Look upon the ruin of Mordheim. The mortals fear this desolation. Only the bold or desperate come here to scavenge and steal.
Wow, she takes a long time to talk.
Only the most fanatical come here to claim this devastation for their gods.
You guys can read.
The earth, the waters.
Pause if you want to. Yeah, I had a bit of a crash then jumping in, so she talks very slowly and takes forever to say all that. But basically, she's vampires come in different kinds of vampire. She's of one particular kind that infiltrate everything and control everything from the shadows, which means chances are she's not on our side. But yeah, alright, anyway, getting into it, this here is where you set up your warband, or more specifically right here. At the moment, we've got this guy here. He's a very, very charming looking fellow. In fact, he's probably one of the most ugly vampires I've ever seen. Definitely up there. These guys are meant to be the Karsteins. They're kind of like your noble vampires. They're just the standard stock run-of-the-mill kind. That's the only option in the game. We can, over here, you got all kinds of stats. There's a lot, and I'm not an expert on the game, so I'm not going to max min this at all. I'm gonna kind of bumble my way through. This guy here, good chance he's gonna die. Good chance that every one of my characters will die at some point. That's not me saying that I'm derpy, although it is. It's probably going to happen more to me than it will to anyone else. It's because this game is designed to kill you. It really is. We have inventory, so we can add, change things, weapons, armor, etc. At the moment, he has a spear. I'm not a huge fan of the spear option, but we don't have anything else to give him, so we're going to stick with the spear. No armor at the present. He's just got some clothing. These guys can be pretty tanky if you build them right. Items, we don't have any items, we don't have any equipment, we can't give him anything. We can, however, customize him, change him up, make him look nice and neat. There are quite a few different options. Ooh. Yeah, okay, you're an old vampire. You look old, so let's go with old. No, only the one style, two styles, sorry, one model. But you can change all kinds of things. You can even change things like his sleeves, and there are a lot of options for his sleeves. Now, what do we change? We can change in the colour here. And you can change the model. 3 different options. Kind of like that one. The problem with this particular model is that there's no real matching model on the chest piece. Kind of annoying. You've got to get yourself a nice big piece of armor slapped over top of him for that to work. So, yeah, I've got armoured sleeves, but I'm also wearing a suit. That's the thing. Belts don't change a whole heap. What they change is a little bit back here that's kind of hidden by your shield anyway. We got... What is his shield? Oh, that's the top of his... That's not his belt, that's the belt over there. That's his pants, I guess. Yeah, very ratty looking pants. Let's give him armour. That doesn't mean he has armour in the game, though. Skills over here, you also have skills. He's got terror, so he causes terror, and he's kind of immune to that kind of thing. We don't have any points to spend in his skills, but that is something that you can do. There's a lot that you can spend them in. Same with the passive skills. I'm not great with that, but we'll get back. We'll work it out eventually. I may change them up and make them look nice and pretty and all unique. But I'll do that off camera because it takes a long time. Also, it's kind of pointless doing it if your guy's going to die. And he's probably going to die. So I'll wait until I've got some pretty badass characters before I make them all look nice, because it's just very time consuming. Alright, now down here you've got Henchman Heroes. This here's your big mob. We don't get that for quite some time. Over here are your reserves. These are extra guys that you don't have in your main party, so they're not going to go out and fight for you. You can change them backwards and forwards. Usually your reserves are full of injured people. Heroes. Okay, heroes are your first non-leader. You always have to have a leader, so that vampire that we start with. That's kind of us, but sort of kind of not really. Your heroes you can choose from this guy here. Where is he? A Doomweaver, so he's kind of our wizardy kind of guy, I guess. Not too bad. He is useful with the zombies. I believe he can make them move a bit faster. You also have yourself a Drag. He's our ranged unit. About the only ranged unit that you get with these guys. And all reports, he's pretty average. So, description up the top here if you wanted to pause and read. Many of these who survived the collapse of the Mordheim were left deformed in body and mind, rejected and despised. They're human dregs. Yeah. Basically, the Wyrdstone that came down and blew the city up, it is pure chaos. It's chaos in solid form. So, it does all kinds of bad things. Yes, it can do good things, but it can also do a lot of bad things. And every time it does a good thing, there are consequences which are pretty much bad. So yeah, not good stuff. This here is kind of the outcome of a little bit of exposure to the stuff. Not great. Oh, I should also probably warn you, this game can be a bit graphical. You'll see what I mean. It can be a little bit disturbing sometimes. Now, I do have a bit of DLC, which allows me to get one of these guys. Now, this guy is Poison Wind Globadier. He is a Skaven, of course. And I kind of... He is essential in the undead army, from what I understand. He has a special ability to poison the enemy. And your guys, for the most part, are immune to that. So, yeah, I'm going to grab something. I'm going to grab one of him. Along here you can see there's a whole bunch of other options, including just your henchmen. We'll get into those. And then, if we have a look down the bottom, we've got 50, 50, and 30. That's how much coins it's going to cost to employ the three that I've just shown you. We've got 675. And then along here, you have the same deal, except they're free. These guys here come with just a little bit more stats, I believe. Worth just a little bit more, whereas if we were to click over here, things should have dropped, but he's equipped differently, so... as is this fella here, so yeah, he doesn't have a shield. What do you have a shield for? Alright, so things are a little bit different, but their equipment is different as well. I like to use these guys exclusively for ranged, so you know what, I'm going to grab this guy here. He's free, he's not going to cost anything. We'll level him up eventually. And to begin with, well, you do have a lot of coins, you can go the other way, but there's not a lot of difference between this guy here and this guy here, really, from what I can tell. So we're going to pick him up. Yes, he is not undead, but neither is the other options, really. They're both living. One of them's trying to become a vampire, and the other one is just can't go anywhere else, I guess. No one else wants him. Henchman, anyway. Let's go and have a look at the henchman. You got two options for the henchman to begin with. You got the zombies, which are weak and hopeless and slow and really bad. And you've got yourself your ghoul. Your ghoul is weak and hopeless and fast and strong at the same time. Basically, he is a melee glass cannon, I guess. He can do a lot of damage. He has no armor. Yeah, he's not great. He's really not good. Neither of these options are good to begin with. They do build up. They do become much stronger as you go along. We're going to get one of these guys here. And we got two more that we can build. We can grab. So we're going to get two zombies. And they're actually costing more than my hero. Of course they are. The zombies, basically, I like to hang out with our Skaven buddy over here, because they are completely immune to poison, as is my vampire. This fella here, he is alive. Ghouls in Warhammer Fantasy, they're humans that like to eat the forbidden flesh, forbidden meat, human flesh. That is all that we really need to begin with. We're going to jump back out. Now we can go skirmish, that's multiplayer. You can play this game multiplayer. Not going to. Veteran system. This allows you, well, as you do things, like say here, arcane knowledge earned by acquiring and learning enhancement recipes. So as you go through and do all these things, you can see some of them, like this one here, enemies killed. Killing 75 enemies will gain you the maximum, and 5 out of 5 for this one here. What is it? Out of action, which gets you points, which you then can go and spend over here. Veteran skill, clicking on here, and then commander upkeep costs reduced by 8 gold. That's, yep, alright, we'll do that. To begin with, I believe it's usually, when you're beginning, recommend that you scroll down and use a few of these ones down here. Healer treatment costs reduced by 4 gold, things like this. If you're a bit more experienced, it's kind of recommended that you go for things like your armor. Contact armor. That's a chance to receive an item increased by 20%. So that's pretty nice, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Armorer, no, sorry, don't click on it. Receive an item, alchemist. Well, that's not one I really used a lot. I don't like taking trinkets and potions in game, so gunsmith, great weapons, merchants, things like this. Contact with a merchant each day. There is a 20% chance to receive a free consumable item. I don't like consumables. They are useful and all that, but they take up an inventory slot. Anyway, tailor, weaponsmith. What do we got here? Evaluator, buying price reduced by 20%. Explorer, scout cost reduced by 20%. That's all right. Haggler, selling price increased. Oh, that's all right. Let's give that one a shot. It is, but it's not. Additional days increased to 3. That's to fulfill Wardsstone requests. Kind of the point of the game. What else do we have? What was that? Renowned. Hiring costs reduced by 20%. Probably should have chosen that one first. Okay, we'll think about it. Training costs reduced by 10%. Training can cost a lot in this game. Explorer, did we look at that? Scout cost. Merchants, sale chance increased by 20%. That's not too bad as well. Goes well with Evaluator. We still have 3 points. There's some at the top as well, wasn't there? No, these are chance to receive an item increased by 50%. Also unlocks the chance of gaining a mastery formula. Okay, yep, sure, but nope. I kind of would like to grab things like this. 10 chance to receive a free shield or helmet from this contact. That's good, but eventually you end up with so many of those. It's just not funny. Armorer is also alright. Each day there is a 10% chance to receive a free heavy armor. We don't really use heavy armor a lot. leatherwork and medium armor, I'm guessing. Or light armor, sorry. Then you got cloth is the other one. That is useful for us. I don't mind using the leather, the cloth. Not the cloth, the leather, the light armor for my vampire. Just your cloth armor is good for your spellcasters. Weaponsmith, I think that was the one that I was looking at. 10% chance to receive a one-handed weapon from... Yeah, well, I never usually do play with that particular one. We come down here, what else? Buying price, explorer, training costs. Yeah, it's kind of late to do it, but we're going to do that. We've still got one more point. What you can do... Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but I did it. Did I? Oh, no. I did mean to do that. You can level them up further. So now our upkeep cost for leaders and impressive warriors is reduced. Yay. So I can respec. I got one respec, so that's just... Yeah. Let us know what you reckon. What do you reckon I should put it in, and we'll do that. It's kind of a long episode. Now, over here, this is your campaign. Skirmish is playing against other people. I don't know that... I'm really not good at playing against other people. Campaign, this is obviously the campaign. So on here, this is the map of Mordheim. You've got 3 options, generally speaking, most days. You got one that you can do per day. If you have a look, you can see in the middle down the bottom there, Hunters and Prey. Normal, that's the difficulty. Crush Their Will is what it's called, what type of game mode it is. Poor Warpstone available, Wyrdstone available, and very poor is the items available. Then you've got both warbands divided into 3 strike teams and disperse in the area. That's bad. You don't want to disperse. You really don't. You want to stay together. This one here is a normal, again, it's a Warstone Rush. One of the ones I like. Average and average, so there's more items on the battlefield. Both warbands deploy tightly around their wagons and prepare to face each other. That's my preferred option. Then you've got Vision of Dread. Also normal, Warstone Rush, average, and very poor. One warband deploys tightly around its wagon, while the other is scattered randomly around the area, scared by something. This one here is also a good one. When it says scattered, it means scattered reasonably close to each other. When it says you deploy in 3 strike teams, it means 3 strike teams nowhere near each other. Yeah. Obviously this one here gives you the most, and you guys start all together. Another option is to pay 5 coins. We've got 630, so we can pay 5 coins for a scout, and they'll find another mission if you're not happy with any of these. You don't have to do a mission, you can skip a day. But to begin with, we're going to give it a shot. Normal is about as good as it gets, by the way. So, yeah. Very small warband to begin with. Now, the computer will match up what you bring. So if I was to bring 4 instead of all 5 that I can, my leader, my hero, and my 3 henchmen, if I was to only bring 4, drop, say, the ghoul, they would only bring 4. Which has its advantages and disadvantages. Of course, if you've only got 4, you're more likely to break and run. But so are they. We're going to start off, though, going all 5. Launch and deploy. Don't just launch mission. Launch and deploy lets you deploy your guys. There are a few cases where you will not deploy, and that is when you are randomly scattered around. Things like that.
Your scouts have discovered a rival warband in the vicinity. These warriors are clustered around their wagon, making them a very attractive target.
Oh, there we go. Loading screens are painful in this game. You can see down the bottom there, it takes quite a while to load. Used to take a lot more. So we're ready to go. I'm going to give it a shot. What do we got here? Objectives, battleground, make the enemy warband rout, or put them all out of action. So more or less, just because you've killed them, you haven't actually killed them. If you just put them out of action, you can still survive. The same applies for yourself. Gather, for optional, if you gather 55% of the Wyrdstone, you get a bonus experience. Some people do not like you using, don't like the bonus objectives. They don't like to complete them early on anyway, because it'll level you up, which you then can't really level yourself up because you can't afford to pay for it all, and the enemy can. So yeah, sometimes not always good to do the bonus mission and level up too fast. So yeah, the second objective there, the Wyrdstone one, that can change depending on your level and everything. Alright, this is deployment. If we hit space, you can see these are all the options of where we're going to be. This here is our wagon. Our wagon has a few functions. If we look down here, you can see all the Wyrdstone, and lucky enemy, they've spawned very close to it. Now we can put 5 markers down on the ground, and we're going to do that. We're going to put one right there. What do you reckon? We come over this way and down maybe? So we'll see if we can't pick up these ones and probably fight the enemy around here somewhere. We'll see how we go. We've got one more marker we can put down, so let's put it down on here. Alright, well, I should have probably explained that. These bags, these little brown bags, they mean there's an item there. And these green circles, that's the Wyrdstone. Alright, so you are very fast. So you do not need to be that far forward. There is an item just in that building there. So let's put you close to that building right there. You're going to run in and get that. You are also relatively fast. So we're going to put you back here, as are you. And we're going to put our very slow zombies up front. Right there. Okay. Now, I am trying to use fraps for this. The old... well, let's start again. The newer version, the newer recording software that I use, including OBS and the like, it doesn't really like this game so well. Likes the game, my computer doesn't like the game, doesn't keep up. Fraps surprisingly does. So yeah. Problem with that is I can't do the sound separately. It's very annoying. Well, I probably could, but I don't. Anyway, let's just have a double check of how movement works moving around. You can see the blue circle, that is the area that we can move around in. When we leave that, we leave a blue dot on the ground. And we move again, we use up another blue dot. If you look down the bottom left, you can see that we've got a whole bunch of blue dots that get used up every time we move around. If you want to undo your move, just go back to a previous blue dot, and you'll start from there again. The wagon over here, as we collect things, we can bring it back. We can keep them on ourselves, and that'll count, or we can put them in that chest at the back there. Alternatively, there is a totemy thingamajiggy at the back here. You see there's actually 2 glowy spots on the ground. That's 2 interaction spots. There's your open chest. This one here is interact with that glowy thing, and you'll get some kind of a buff. We're going to come back over here. There are traps all over the map as well. Pretty sure it said the item is in here. You can, again, kind of min-max your movement. I will, from time to time, do that. Apparently the item is right here, so it must be upstairs, of course. And what I mean by that is, if I want to go up those stairs, you want to get as close to that area as possible. Yeah, kind of obvious for the whole min-maxing. But also, coming up here, if I was to very carefully sneak around, I'm still using that 1 point that I spent down the bottom. And I don't know if we still are. Can't really see the circle anymore. I'm going to scavenge out of this item here, and in there we have an axe, a great axe, and a spear. Very good. We can't carry too much to begin with, so we're going to take all that. And we did use another point to get to this point. Okay, so we're going to come down. We've only got 2 more points left, so yeah, he's not really going to get close to where we want to go on this turn. But it's alright, because he will catch up. There are a lot of things that ambush you around the place, or traps all over the ground and everything. I'm going to, next turn, bring him over and drop those things off. Alright, so now we have options, ambush and turn. That's all that we can do at the moment with him. We're going to put him on ambush, because why not? I very, very highly doubt that anything is going to come near me this early on. Alright, so we want you to sort of kind of come over this way. Straight over into that building that's falling apart over there, I guess. Often those things there on the ground, that piece of wood with the weird writing, it's Skaven scratchings, I believe. Could be wrong. I always thought it was. No reason to think it was, I just, yeah, for some reason I did. They're often traps. You can, if we hit E, go across and use perception skill, uses up one of your blue dots, 49% chance, and you can see all those kind of things around you. All your traps and everything. Alright, so we're going to walk over. It's about as far as we're going to get, I guess. Did we get... Oh, it's actually that building in there. Oh yeah, there it is. Yes. You can see all the items over there. Okay. Well, we're going to put him on ambush as well. I highly doubt that the enemy will get to him this turn, but anyway. Up the top you can see a list. At the moment there's a question mark with a 57. 57, that's their initiative. That's how quickly they get to respawn and do all that kind of stuff. They have collected a Warstone at the moment. We just had an update on the left there. Yeah, it's initiative based whose turn it is. Our guys, you can see, are blue. The enemy will start off as a white question mark. As you learn what they are, they become... Whoa! Hit my mouse. As you learn what they are, they start to show, up the top there, what they are. Funny that. Alright. It's not this one, is it? No, it's the next one. And we can move one more. So these guys can move pretty far. Oh, it's upstairs. Oh, nuts to that. Nuts to that. Alright. And we... Oh, we can't quite. I don't think we can get through that gap. Well, we didn't anyway. Alright, now, the specialty of this particular bloke is the Poison Globe. That's the item currently selected. Uses up 3 red dots. Red dots down the bottom, that's your attacking skills. Or you can Overwatch. There's no point in using poison at the moment. No point really in Overwatching, but we're going to Overwatch. And that just, yeah, it's like ambush. You can shoot if you see the enemy. We're not going to see the enemy this early. This is a big map. It's not as big as you may first think it is, though. So this guy here, we just want to rush him down to here, I guess. Just straight ahead. Now I say rush. There you go. There you go. I told you that these things are usually traps. I thought because it didn't go off, it wasn't. Now if you look on the bottom left, you got the buff henchman zombie. We got expendable, has no impact on warband morale when out of action, unwavering, immune to all alone fear and terror. Of course he's a zombie, he's dead. And then poison immunity. Poison doesn't hurt him. If we hit alt, we get to the debuffs. He didn't actually receive any debuffs, so yeah, he got lucky because that particular trap was poison. It did use up a blue dot though, I believe. Then you can check out the quick stats, resistances, and back to nothing. I like to leave it on the buff, just so I know what he's good at, what he's bad at, all that kind of stuff. Alright, so he made it pretty far. Further than I was expecting. The movement range, you can see that blue circle, for some characters is a much bigger circle, so that's... They might seem to have as much movement, but the blue circle itself is very smaller. So this episode's going to go a little bit longer, it seems. Should have already had this recorded. I'm sorry I didn't. It's not just 3 years late, it's a couple of hours late as well. Kids, playing around with my microphone settings. Thank you, little kids.
A new round has started.
Made it very difficult this morning. Very difficult. I spent several hours trying to get the thing working. Okay, things that are in your... You can raid the enemy. This thing. Dang it. The enemy this thing. I've already forgotten. It's early. It's very early. I'm tired. I'm sick. Forgive me. The enemy can raid yours, but what goes in there is more or less safe by the end of the mission, so we're going to keep coming this way. He's got a fair bit of movement, doesn't he? You can see his blue circle is much larger than the zombies. Early on, the zombies are what will hold you up moving around. So, that's as far as we're going to bring him. Tab changes whether or not you can see your objectives at the top there. I usually leave it open. Some people won't. We haven't seen anyone yet. He's still on target. We gotta get some Wardstone. The idea is to collect Wardstone and send it off to your benefactor or beneficiary. That's the cast irons. Wardstone shards. Okay, yeah, I should probably explain that. There's 3 different types of Wardstone you get. We got a warp effect up that didn't do anything, and a warp effect down for picking up the Wardstone there. 3 different types you can get. You can get shards, fragments, and clusters. And they are worth little bit, some, and lots. A lot of people won't even bother with the, I think it's the fragments, the littlest piece. It's often more hassle than it's worth to actually go and pick up, so. Waiting on the enemy. Oh, my leader disappeared for a second there. Yep, alright. You can see our little rat buddy here, he's got quite a lot of movement as well. The blue circle's very large, which is good. Aha, item. Scavenge. 10 gold coins, that's good. That pays your wage anyway. Pays most of the warband actually. Well, actually, that probably will pay for the warband. Alright, we don't want to... Oh, okay. Right in front of us there, we have got ourselves probably the second worst enemy that we could have had. And that is the Sisters of Sigma, or is that what they're called? That's not ideal that they're the ones that we are facing. They have a lot of armor. Early on they're actually not too bad because they're as newbie as us, but still, wasn't expecting to run into you right there. We're not going to run him off down there because he will be isolated and killed. We're going to keep him around about here, and we're going to put him on Overwatch. If she comes close, she's going to get shot. If anyone else comes close, they'll get shot, and potentially my vampire buddy here will run out and intercept them anyway. Alright, we've just spotted somebody else. Where did we spot them? Down in here. So where we were going. I would have thought they would have gone through here, but okay. Nope, their focus was on us. Alright. And you basically want a dogpile, is what you want to do. We're going to put him here. He's going to block them from attacking our ranged guy. Maybe. No guarantee that he will, but alright. Now we're going to create a nice big ambush across here. Their movement range, these zombies, is not great, so often the enemy can charge further than I can ambush these guys. And they just disappeared. Oh, here we go. Shoot. Good. Boom. Hit. Alright. You don't often hit. And, yeah. Wow, that was a big hit. Able to charge further than my ambushing guy could ambush, and also my vampire couldn't see. Which is something that will frustrate you often in this game. I'm guessing this episode's probably going to go about an hour long, so it's going to be a big episode. And I've also got to render this down. Okay, yep.
A new round has started.
This episode could go... it could be a little delayed. Yep. Alright, now, we know there's others down there. They're likely going to come and attack anybody that attacks her from this side. So I'm going to put my most skilled fighter on this side. Now, he's got unwavering poison immune. Does he? He has no debuffs. That's good. I was just checking for this weapon if there was a debuff. He's got an option here. I can just walk straight into the combat, and attacks are going to cost 2 red dots, or I can charge. Charging, usually you lose some chance to hit. You can see down the bottom I have a 71% chance to hit. And 3 red dots. If you also look down the bottom, you can see that I have all up 5 red dots. So attacking with him is going to use most of my red dots up, leaving me with 2 red dots, which should be a second attack. Alternatively, I could just walk into her and do 2 attacks on her. certain weapons, certain weapon layouts use up more red dots or less red dots, or more red dots on successive attacks. So we're going to charge in just to see what it's like. Terror test. She failed the terror test, so she gets a debuff, and we miss. Now, it said 71% chance to hit. Now it says 81% chance to hit. What it doesn't tell you is her stats can affect that. So even though it says 81%, it could say 95% chance to hit, and often you'll miss on a 95% chance. That's because it doesn't tell you that with their particular stats, that might come down to 40%. I mean, that's unlikely. I'd have to be taking on a pretty high-level enemy, but it is possible. So we think we got an 81% chance. We're going to try to hit her, and we did hit her, so that's all right. You can also have, and we're going to use it now, either a dodge or parry ability. These things are affected by their stats as well. So we've got a 40% chance to dodge. Yeah, let's do that. However, certain stats that they have, and this works for me against them when they choose dodge or parry, can affect that as well and reduce the dodge chance. So yeah, it's not a guaranteed thing. Alright, we're going to bring you in. He has 3 attacks, so that's not good enough for a lot of things. It is good enough to charge in and miss. Good. That's what I like to see. And we're going to dodge. I'm hoping to get a few weapons out of this mission so that I can re-equip. Early on, I like to have a lot of my little guys running around with dual wielding until dual wielding usually uses up 3 bubbles. These guys have 3 bubbles. I'll change over to sword and board. Ooh, okay. Another guy over there. Oh, okay, girl. Hey, succeeded in jumping down and terror test failed. Good. Still gonna charge, but with that debuff, it's meant to be much harder for her to hit. There you go, dodge fail. So I actually failed. Reload with you because you did use your MO. And poison. Let's throw the poison out. We want to try to get it. I think yeah, right there's good. My ghoul is not immune from memory. I could be wrong there. I'll have to double check it. Okay, so that's an AoE that will last on the map for a little bit. And we cannot... That's used up 3 red, so we can't now shoot. What we can do, though, is we can move out of the way of incoming over that way. So that's what we want to do with you. We could put them up there if we really wanted to. Shoot from above. I'm going to bring them over this way, and then put them on dodge. Oh, poison, there you go. All alone, fail. She failed. She's going to try to run, is she? No, she's just going to sit there and do nothing. Works for me. Alright, you I'm going to get to charge in on you there. And that was a nice big hit. She was surprised, so she got a debuff for that. That's a future debuff, I believe. So yeah, you're immune to poison, so I can have this guy here fighting in that poison. Wouldn't really bother me. Or him. We're going to try parry at 26% chance instead of dodge at 15% chance. You are not... You don't have a very good chance. Oh, you're surprised. So minus 10% melee hit chance. So there's what surprise does. I don't know why you're surprised. They walked right in front of you and you were on ambush mode ready to hit them. But anyway, we still hit. Out of action. She's fallen over and has left a little bag on the ground that we can loot. That gets us the Great Flail, which we can't really do anything with. This one here, their Holy Tome, is for a different kind of mission type, so it's pointless now. It gets removed at the end of the mission. Really useless to us at this point. We're going to then put you on parry swords. Can't really do anything at this point. We could have moved them around so that that lady over there coming in attacks at a different angle or the like. One thing about the Sisters of Sigma is their initiative is very low. They tend to be all armor and not much else.
A new round has started.
Worth pointing out, up the top left you can see a blue and a red little slidey bar thingamajiggy. Blue is me. It represents your strength as well as the overall strength of your warband. That's the top. The top number. The bottom number is your break point. And you can see there's a little line at that point. That's where you start taking break checks where you can just randomly flee. Every time somebody gets put out of action, that red bar will go down. Alright, so he's going to get 2 not so good attacks. He's more tanky than damage. So yeah, 2 hits, very good. Not bad hits. We've got one more red dot there, we can't actually use that yet. As you level up, you will gain more of those red dots and blue dots and all that kind of stuff. Let's have a look. Are you unwavering? So you do not have immunity to poison. So we want to make sure that he does not go into the poison. What that means is generally my ghouls and vampires stick together, and my zombies and Ratman over there will stick together. Let's just get into that and miss, of course. Yes, we'll miss. Yep. Get used to it. It happens a lot. It'll happen a lot. Alright. What are you doing? You're going after my wagon? No, you're coming after me. You got stuck. Yeah, there's one of those little bugs that would have been nice to have been fixed up, but never was. They got stuck on the edge there. And that's as far as they felt like moving. Alright, so we can shoot. You can see on the ground there's a little red arrow pointing to where we can shoot. There is also an aim shot. Uses up a bit more. Early on though. I'm only really going to be able to shoot once anyway, so... See how it uses up 3 red dots? I've only got 5. Yeah. Well, yeah, aim shot probably a better option. I'm not moving too far. I could shoot you, but I don't really want to. He's immune to poison as well. Got a gas mask. I don't want to get too close to that one over there is the problem. I could try and poison her. That's a good option, I guess. Let's see, can we reach her? Yeah, not quite from there. Trying to get into a position where she's not as likely to charge me. So the issue with that is she will be poisoned, but that poison cloud is not going to be used for anyone else. We're going to do it anyway, just because I like to poison them. It's fun. Alright. Is that not poison? Huh. Alright, well, in that case, I'll show you the perception. 55%. He's got one of the best perception chance. It was a failure anyway. So, okay, I won't show you that. Put you on dodge stance. That'll do. Oh, poisoned. Good. You're about to die. You failed. Are you going to run? Yeah, but you tried to run. When you're when you flee a combat, you anyone that's in combat with you gets a free hit on you. So don't flee. Not a good idea to flee. Alright, we're going to bring you over here and set up an ambush. Hopefully we can actually get her when she moves next. But yeah, it's tricky. Alright, loot. Yes, loot. You got the shard, shield, and a hammer.
Objective
Sigmarite hammer, not useful. Okay, we are not going to get to any of these other ones, it looks like. The enemies still have 3 mobs, so it might be worth sending somebody off to collect some of these over here. We can get rid of that marker, because we collected that one too. There we go. So they are gone. The Wyrdstone disappears, but the scavenge doesn't, because the item is still there that you can click on and dump things in. We only need to really kill one more of them, so we've got to try to get some guys over here, I think. So that's what we're going to do. Not you, though, because you're already full on items. So we're going to bring you around here and put you in an ambush stance. Hopefully, if she tries to attack, somebody else will attack her first. Oh, okay, so we know there's somebody else over there. And if we're familiar with their little symbols up the top there, we'll know exactly what they are. Okay, that was potentially problematic. Because we now know that there is somebody
A new round has started.
Down the bottom here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to send my vampire on his own. Silly later on when the enemy are strong enough to actually do something about you. Early on though, he should be okay. Am I going in the right direction? I am. Could have gone a better way though, but it's all good. Oh wow, there's a lot over here. Quite a lot. Standing on top of it means you can't collect it as well. That's just another one of those little fun bits of
Objectives updated.
I don't know, not quite working so well. Oh, look at that, we took 10 damage. We got fragments and shards. Shards are worth a little bit more. I think they're worth 10, I think.
Objectives updated.
Whereas the fragments are and then 15 for the clusters. I could be wrong there, but
Objectives updated.
we'll see eventually. This is going to be a very long episode.
Objectives
Okay,
updated.
so our inventory is full. Is there any way of getting through that building? Probably is. Oh, there is. Very good. We're out of movement anyway. It's alright, he can move pretty fast, so he's potentially going to be back into the combat next round. You, I could send... I was going to send him down to here, but we have an enemy. You can see the white question mark. We can see what they are. We can see where they were last spotted. White question mark means they're no longer spotted, so they could be anywhere. Likely coming into here. Either in... yeah, most likely he's ducked into here, or she has. Then we've got two over here. So I could send him down to scavenge this. We have 6 of 9 secured. Apparently... oh no, we've got 6 of 9 that we need to get the 55%. So we need 3 more Wardstone. Ooh. Risky. Do we risk it for the biscuit? Should we come over here maybe? I'm going to try it. Because it's the silly thing to do. And silly works well for me. Yeah, there's 2 down there. Okay. I don't recommend doing this. This is the wrong thing to be doing. We can't see the enemy, but they can't see us as well. Oh, we don't have the blue dots to jump down there, so we're going to have to jump down on this one. We've got to reset our blue dot over here. And jump down there. 72% chance. And we succeed. If you don't succeed, you take damage. Whack you on ambush. Next turn, you're going to grab... there's 3. There's one over there as well. Resist. You resisted the poison. You didn't resist that. And you got a surprise. So that's a 10% reduction in chance to hit. Okay. Calm down. Calm down. Alright, well, you are going to shoot. And if you move around, you may notice the chance to hit will change. Potentially. But it's not. Alright, well I have a low chance to hit on this particular character, so we're going to do an aim shot. You know what? I'm going to... it takes two blue to... 2 blue dots to reload. So I want to have at least if we can, 2 left over. I'm pretty sure it's 2. Let's see. That was a low chance to hit, so that turned out quite well. And yep, we can reload for the next turn. End turn. Nothing else that you can do. You guys are on your own at the moment, so let's get you rushing in there. 63% chance. Not good on. Dodge fail. If you miss hitting them, it does not use up their dodge or parry that they've chosen. So put you on parry. You're carrying a shield. Shield and sword. That allows me to parry, I guess. 73% chance, and you're out of action. Was that enough? They are below the threshold, so they do need to take a morale test, a break test, at the end of each turn to see if they run or not. Loot, shield, flail. You're carrying a bit, actually. So there's one more mob over, one more enemy over here, one more back over the other side. This one here, this zombie is not doing so well, so I'm going to try to protect this zombie as best we can. Sure, have a perception test. Success! Wow, actually succeeded. Doesn't happen often. Well, there's nothing around here anyway, so end turn. Yeah, oh, there you go. The enemy had a morale check and failed, which means we did not get the secondary mission accomplished. At the end of each turn, not the end of each turn, each round, if you win, when you leave, you have a chance of collecting leftover items that are on the map. We got some chance.
It is by deed that loyalty to Count Vlad is made manifest. Your triumph proves your devotion to Drakenhof. When the legions of Sylvania march on the mortals, your service to the Master will not be forgotten.
Good, good. Anyway, quick to continue. We'll quickly go through this here. Experience gain, 2 experience for surviving the mission. Great. Experience over here. Didn't go up, didn't get any extra points to add to anything. We did with our rat. Most valuable warrior got an extra experience point. We got an extra one as well if we'd done the secondary mission. And advancement, 1 martial advancement, 1 point to spend in weapon skill, ballistic skill, or accuracy. He's ranged, so it's kind of obvious where we're going to go on this one. Ballistic skill or accuracy is the options that we have there. That's what we want to spend his points on. Experience, oh, enemies out of action, 1. So you knock somebody out. My rat didn't. My rat's most valuable. Obviously it uses more than just knocking enemies out. We've caused a lot of damage with the rat with the poison as well. Alright, so, yep, 3 experience and a physical advancement, strength, toughness, and agility. I use a lot of my henchmen just get in there and smack things, so strength is usually the one that I go up there. Eventually we'll be able to, once we finish all this, we'll be able to have a look at what each one does. 2 experience for surviving. I don't often survive so well, I have to admit. 2 enemies put out of action. Wow, 2 enemies put out of action, and you were not my MVP. Still, we do have 1 point to spend on you. All their base, you can see here, ballistic skill, 3 of 3. We can't up that anymore. In fact, it is possible that we'll end up not able to, or that being reduced over time. As things happen, like you get hit on the head and injuries, different things, you lose an arm. Yes, you can lose an arm. And it is displayed on your character. It does affect your stats and the maximum levels that they can have as well. Warband experience. You also have your warband can experience up. We did not. So, we got 2 points. So we're moving along. And items acquired. Axe, great axe, spear, gold. Some wardstones, Wyrdstones. Fair bit actually, not too bad. Shield, Sigmarite, Warhammer. Can't be used by us, so that's something that we'll sell straight away. Flails as well. They're not weapons that our guys carry. So they're over at the shop here, something that we'll come into here and say, you right there, sell 5 coins. Brilliant. Same with the flail. And that flail. Don't get many gold coins for them, but buying is also an option. Buying different things. It's all whites. Just trash, really. Sometimes I go in and look at things. Nope. Things like your cloth, which occasionally you'll have a cloth item, or just armor in general, that, like say the light armor right here, which is worth buying early game. Not often enough, unfortunately. Spellcasting and chance to climb, leap, and jump down tests, no good. And then your armor of 10. You can see down here. This little one here is your character's kind of initiative, I believe. So yeah. If we go into warbands, we can click on, say, our hero. We do have to pay him. Let's just go back. We can pay over here. It's going to cost 11, so we managed to pay for our warband. We got the 1 point. Weapon skill, melee resistance, melee hit chance, parry chance, and warrior's rating. Everything's going to up the warrior's rating. Damage and hit chance increased. And accuracy, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage, and 2% of target's dodge is bypassed. So there's an example of dodge being bypassed. So you might think you've got a 15% chance of dodging. In this case, you've only got a 13% chance. We're gonna give him just a little bit more damage, I think. Accuracy is nice, but damage, yeah, damage. Apply. The other ones, your strength, increased melee damage, bypass 2% of targets, parry, and warrior rating. Every 3 points, increase carrying capacity by 1, and max carrying capacity is currently 6. Excuse me. Toughness, wounds, range resistance, poison resistance, critical resistance, agility, melee resistance, dodge chance, and climb, leap, jump down tests by 3%. Your mental leadership, morale value by 2. Undead, it's not, it happens, but you gotta kind of die lots in order for that to happen. So it's not ideal anyway. Chance to pass psychology tests. We are immune to a lot of alone, fear, and terror tests with a lot of our characters, so it's not great, really. Increased warrior rating, intelligence, spell damage, magic resistance, stun resistance, chance to pass mental condition tests such as stupidity, paranoia, and deranged. This particular character does not have stupidity, paranoia, or deranged. However, they can pick those traits up through different things, like stupidity might get hit on the head and become stupid. As simple as that, really. And alertness. Increase initiative by 2. Increase range resistance, and chance to pass perception tests. I don't use perception tests all that often. I find it kind of a waste of points, usually. Your other things down the bottom here, your initiative, so yeah, there's the symbol, so I was right. Higher that is, which it's often affected by the equipment more than anything. The higher that is, the sooner you get to attack, to have your move. Movement speed, morale impact, dodge chance, parry chance, morale itself. Then your resistances down here. This particular one has a gas mask, so he's immune to breathable poison effects such as globes, most traps, and certain spells. Cumbersome gear, reduced movement range by 1 meter for what he's carrying. You can see injuries over here, he's healthy. And the history, he was hired. And then a quick little description. I'm going to go through and I'm going to add points into all the others that needed it. I was going to say I'll do it off camera, but, you know, we're here. Let's just quickly do it. For you, weapon skill. You didn't get one. You didn't. Oh, we're back to start. Alright, done. We're going to have to go through and change some weapon loadouts as well. Inventory. Now you've got 2 options here, so I'm going to start off with you having an axe and a sword, and on the second option down here, you can't. I don't have anything else to add to it. Okay. I was going to say down here we're going to give you like an axe or a sword, or one-hander, and the shield, but I don't have enough items, so we're not going to do that. If we go over here, we can add a spear as a secondary option for you. With a spear, you can add shields as well, as is kind of obvious with my main character having that set out, that loadout. So I guess, you know what? Let's empty you out. And let's give you the option to go spear and shield. Yep. Yeah, why not? Okay, so he will start dual wielding, and I have the option to change weapons over to the spear. Back to Warband. That's our Warband. We can add more henchmen. We don't need them right now. Our guys are not injured. No one's out. That's very rare. Usually you end up with quite a few people out. To get to the next day, you got to click this button here. But we're going to save that for the next episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed this extremely long episode. Hopefully I can get it up on the channel in time. If you have enjoyed, if you want to see more of it, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'm going to play a little bit of it anyway because I did promise that I would play this game. And yes, it's a 3-year-old promise, but I'm going to stick to that promise. Going to get very frustrated playing this game, I'll warn you right now. Bad things will happen. I'll probably end up rage quitting it at some point and it just stops. But I'll leave it up to you guys, whether or not you want to see a lot or a little of it. And I will see you next episode. Bye-bye.